Hello peeps, welcome back. It is Sundays with Sparky. Hooray! Woo! Wah! Hooray! Yeah, I still haven't got an intro for this. I just don't have one. I don't know if I'm going to have one ever. I feel like sometimes I should have one. It feels like it should be like one of those kind of talk show intros where they have like an in-house band playing some kind of jazz or something. Nice. Kind of stuff. Or not. I don't know. Anyway, it feels like I haven't done this for ages, but it was only like last Sunday, which was actually last year. That might be why it feels like it's been such a long time, because it was a year ago. Well, it wasn't a year ago, it was last year though. Anyway, so I hope you had a good New Year's Eve festivities, whatever it was that you decided to do. I hope you had fun. I have been watching movies. I have. Not huge amounts of movies, admittedly, but quite a few. Oh, by the way, I put some posters up in the back because I realised that the background was looking a little dull and a little boring. So I put some posters up. They're not the best posters in the world, but I had them to hand, so I thought I'd put them up. It does make me look like I'm a little bit of a Marvel fanboy though. Iron Man, Wolverine and Captain America. I did have a Batman one, but it just didn't look very good. It was just like a posed picture. It wasn't like a movie poster or something. And it just looked a bit, just a bit rubbish, really. So I decided not to put that one up. So movies. I went to see The Hobbit, which I think I have mentioned probably twice. But I went to see it again, but I went to see the 48 frames per second version to see if it was actually any different. Because I was a little bit sceptical as to whether it was actually going to make that much difference to how I saw it and how I viewed it and how it came across. And it did make quite a big difference, I'll have to admit. I was a little sceptical, didn't think it would, but it did. Not so much in the kind of scenes where there was a lot of talking, particularly. Like the scene in Bag End where they're sat around the table discussing stuff. You don't really notice it so much then, but as soon as there's any kind of action or movement going on, like when they're running across the plains, running away from the Warg Riders, that is quite a difference in how everything looks. Sorry, I've got distracted ever so slightly. I've got my YouTube page up here, and I've noticed that one of the videos that I put out, the thumbnail hasn't changed after I'd changed it like 3 or 4 days ago. Anyway, so if you haven't had a chance to see it in 48 frames per second yet, because you were unsure as to whether you'd like it or whatever, you should try and see it in 48 frames per second and see what you think, because I missed out on the first movie in 48 frames because the cinema that I normally go to weren't showing it. In fact, the cinema that I normally go to was showing it, but only for like the first 2 weeks that it came out, and then they stopped showing it. And I was like, but I haven't seen it yet. Rubbish. So I had to go to a different cinema than my usual one. And I discovered that cinema has an IMAX screen as well, so I might be going up there a little bit more often than usual, because I haven't been up there for years. So a bit more often would be more than once a year, I think. So if there's anything that I'm really looking forward to, I might try and see it on the IMAX as well, because that would be pretty awesome. Like, I've never seen a movie on IMAX before, and it's supposed to be something quite special. So I'm going to do that at least once. I know there's the new Captain America movies coming out. The new Spider-Man movies coming out, and the new X-Men movies coming out sort of 1 month after each other. I think it's March, April, May. I think those movies in that order. So maybe I'll go and see one of them in IMAX if it's on. Yes, so that was the Hobbit 48 frames. I'm hoping to go see 47 Ronin on Wednesday. But again, the cinema that I normally go to has got one showing left of it. Like it's on once per day, and it's like one of the last films they show. So, oh, for God's sake. So yeah. But I will be going to see that at some point. The other movies I've been watching, Ted, because it's hilarious and it still makes me laugh, especially the especially the scene where Ted goes for an interview at a grocery store. That is possibly my favourite scene out of the entire movie, but it's brilliant. If you haven't seen it, it's a bit crude in places. If you don't like some slightly vulgar humour, you might not like it very much. But I loved it. And it's got Mila Kunis in it. Oh, Mila Kunis. She's lovely. Okay, and Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai. I started watching this last night. I haven't actually finished watching it because I was so tired. So I'm going to watch the rest of it tonight. So I thought I'd include it on today's. I love that movie. Really love that movie. It's all to do with an American soldier who was he was under General Custer as they were fighting the Native Americans, because you're not allowed to call them Indians, even though they used to. But yeah, that whole conflict, and he gets hired by some Japanese people representing the Japanese emperor to fight the samurai, and it's all about that kind of stuff. I won't tell you any more about it in case you haven't seen it. But if you have seen it, then you probably already know that it's a good movie. So yeah, I'll be finishing that off tonight. I couldn't decide last night what to watch, and yeah, that was a suggestion by a friend of mine, and it was a good one. So yeah. So that's for the movies. I haven't really watched that many movies this week. I think it's mainly because where I've been watching the Yogscast live streams throughout December, my backlog of videos on YouTube to watch was just growing, and so I had quite a lot of videos to get through to like try and catch up with what everyone else is doing that I subscribe to, and I'd also found that Peter Jackson has his own YouTube channel, and had been putting up like video blogs of like behind the scenes stuff from the 2 Hobbit movies. So I was like, well then, I'm going to watch all of that before I go and see The Hobbit. And I did, and it was great. And that's where I don't know if you've seen it, but that's where the Orlando Bloom, they're taking the Hobbits to Isengard remix live version, where they've got the music video of him doing, they're taking the Hobbits to Isengard. They've got an iPad in front of his face, and then they move it down, and then he does it, and then they put it back up. And if you haven't seen it, you need to go and see it, because it's hilarious. It's so good. Yeah, that's, so I've been catching up on YouTube videos and stuff. Games wise, I think you've pretty much seen this week stuff that I've actually been playing. I played some Knock Knock, which I put out a video for. I've played some Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls beta, which I made a video for and put that out. I didn't play any Contrast this week, but I probably will do tomorrow to record some more, and I'll put out a new Contrast video of that tomorrow as well. Next week there should be some more Knock Knock and some more Reaper of Souls. I haven't forgotten about Big Deck Player, but I haven't found that I've had a lot of time to really get into a deck. Normally when I create find a deck or whatever, and I'm thinking about making a video about it, normally I have to play a few games to kind of get into the feel of it. And one of the ones that I've been working on recently was one that was suggested to me by one of my subs. I apologise, but I can't remember what your name is. It was a private message on Hearthstone, which is where I got it from. And it's a Shaman deck, and on paper it looks really good, but in practice I've not actually had that much luck with it. So I don't know if I'm going to make a video with that or not. And this is the problem with Big Deck Player. You see, you can find a deck, and you think when you're looking at the list, you think, yeah, that should be a fairly good deck, you know. But then obviously, if you don't get the card draw that you want, then all your little combos and stuff that you were planning on making, you don't necessarily get a chance to make. I mean, if you get the perfect card draw, then it's awesome. This deck is amazing. You just absolutely destroy them. But if you don't get the right card draw, like one of the, it kind of relies on early game removal and then mid to late game creatures that just smash them. That's the kind of basis for this deck. And I'm finding that if you don't get removal early on, you are screwed. Pretty much. I've played a few games of it earlier on today, and I was playing one of my other decks and I was winning. I won like 4 or 5 games. Switched to this deck. I went on to casual just to kind of just as a little warm up. Won that match. Went into ranked, lost 2 in a row, and I was just like, and it was all down to the fact that the card draw that I was getting wasn't sufficient for what I needed to do at the time. Like, I wasn't getting enough removal cards to actually remove the threats that my opponent was putting on the board. And by the time I did get it, it was kind of too late. And he was putting out bigger creatures that stuff like Lightning Bolt, which does 3 damage, wasn't going to get rid of. And I wasn't getting very good. I wasn't getting lucky with the bringing out the totems either. I was always getting like the Flame Tongue totem, which is virtually useless, instead of ones that were actually useful, like the Taunt Stoneclaw totem or the Wrath of Air totem that gives you a plus spell power that could have helped get rid of some of the enemies. So it is a little reliant on card draw or getting the right cards. I mean, there is some card draw mechanics in there, but yeah, maybe I'm just not playing it properly. Maybe I just need to play it a few more times and kind of really get to grips with it. But that's why there hasn't been a Big Deck Player in a little while, just because I've been trying out new decks, and most of the other ones that I've done, I've been able to get really quickly, and whether it's because they suit my playstyle better than this one, or whether they're just easier to kind of pick up and play, I'm not sure. But yeah, I've been trying to find some new decks that have actually been really good, or that, you know, have some interesting combos or whatever. So that's why there hasn't been a Big Deck Player in a while. I am still working on it. They haven't gone away. I'm just trying to find some good decks to make videos for you. So that's that. So that's all my video. Oh, yeah, that's the videos that are coming out. I have also been playing again Half-Life 2, mainly because it's one of my favourite games of all time. It kind of amuses me and saddens me at the same time, seeing all this rumour and conjecture and stuff about Half-Life 3. I would love a Half-Life 3, but I would only love it if Valve actually wanted to make it and make it awesome, because it would need to be awesome. There's no point in just going, well, we'll just make it just to keep people happy. because it wouldn't be very good. I think one of the main things that I liked, one of the main things I like about Half-Life 2 is the fact that you can be a dick during the cutscenes, because there aren't any cutscenes really. There are moments of dialogue, and you can stand and listen to the guy, or you can wander off, or you can do what I have been doing and picking up books and throwing them at them while they're talking to me. You know, you just do whatever you like, and I much prefer that to having to lose control of your character and break that immersion briefly just to get some kind of plot points across, which is what they do in virtually every other game that I've played. And I like that, and I like that. I like the different array of guns that you get. You're not just limited to having like 2 or 3 guns. You've got a whole selection of weaponry that you can use. There's elements of platforming. There's driving. There's the whole boat stuff, like the hovercrafty Everglades style boat thing that you get on. I'm not sure what. It's not really a hovercraft. I'm not even sure it's really classed as a boat. The ones with the big fan on the back and those things. I'm not sure what you call that, but that sort of is awesome. And there's like puzzle elements to it. It's pretty much got everything in a game that I like, and I'm quite a fan of first-person shooters. I'm not necessarily the best player of first-person shooters. I have my moments, but I'm not a consistently good player of first-person shooters. But I don't care, because I enjoy them. I always forget though that Half-Life 2 doesn't have aim down sights. So I think I'd like aim down sights in a Half-Life 3 if they ever make one. But I guess by doing that, it would probably take away some of the I forget what the word is. Alternate fire. There we go. I got it in the end. So pleased with myself. I suddenly remembered it. Yeah, alternate fire. They wouldn't be able to use that so easily as they do in Half-Life 2. If you haven't played Half-Life 2, you probably should, because, as I say, it's one of my favourite games. It's been out for ages now, so I imagine most people have probably played it by now. It's probably super cheap on Steam as well. It's virtually always in a Steam sale, so even if it's not really cheap at the moment, the next time there is a Steam sale, pick it up, because it's great. It's really good, and it will keep you entertained for a while. The voice acting's good. The storyline is not the best, but it doesn't need to be, because the rest of the game's great. Oh, and the music as well. I love the music in that game. It's really not the sort of music that I would normally listen to, but I absolutely love the music in that game. It's so good. And you don't hear it very often, so when you do, you're like, oh yeah, this is great. Well, at least I did anyway. It's challenging enough. I mean, every time I play it, even though I know pretty much where I'm going, sometimes I forget because I don't play it all the time. I play it like maybe once or so a year. Even though I kind of know where I'm going, I still die. I still make stupid mistakes. I still fall off of stuff that I'm not supposed to, or accidentally blow myself up with something. But I don't, it's challenging enough that you can't. I don't just breeze through it. I keep almost every time I play it, I keep finding new things that I didn't find before. Like hidden about, there are these different like treasure stashes that they're all marked with like the little Half-Life symbol in the game. So as you go through, like there'll be a Half-Life symbol spray painted onto a wall, and that kind of symbolises that there's going to be some kind of loot there, whether it's shields for your armour or health, or ammunition, you know, something like that. And I don't think I've ever played through where I've got every single one of them. And this time, as I'm playing it through now, I'm really keeping an eye out because I want to try and find them all, because I've played it so many times. I'm like, I should have got all these by now. I really should. Yeah, and I keep finding ones that I've never seen before. I'm like, how did I miss that? Or, oh my god, I can't believe that there's one there and I've gone past it so many times and never even knew it was there. So, yeah, I'm really enjoying playing it again. I don't know if I'll play the 2 kind of expansion things for it, episodes 1 and 2. I might. We'll see. I'm just enjoying playing it at the moment, and catching up on my YouTube videos. That's what I'm also enjoying doing. I was very super productive, and when I recorded my Diablo 3, and I recorded I recorded for about an hour and like edited and rendered 3 videos that night. Did it all in one go. Sometimes when I start editing, I'm just getting in that zone and I'm like, right, and I just do it. And sometimes I feel like I should record loads of stuff so that when I do get in that zone, I can just do loads of editing all in one go. But yeah, editing's not my favourite thing in the world, but I don't know, once I get in the zone, I just do it all. Right, I think I've probably spoken for far too long already, so I'm going to go and edit this, and then render it, and then upload it, and then say hello. Well, I won't say hello, but you'll see me say hello in the video. Yeah. All right. Wow, that was awkward. Yes. Captain Awkward. Yeah, I am going to go. I shall see you next week, and I enjoy your week, and I shall see you again soon. Alright, bye bye.